Hey everybody, it's James from Wealthquest. Today we're going to be talking about some money tips for those college freshmen that you may have just dropped off at their campuses. It's time for them to start to learn how to make some money decisions on their own. So I'm sure that this transition of having just dropped off your child at college is more than a little bit difficult, particularly in this COVID era, to say the least. But as your kids are starting to figure out how to manage all of their time and their resources on their own, and they're finally out of your house, there's some ways we can help them. And the first thing is we got to get them used to tracking things. Help them to set up some sort of budgeting system, whether that's Quicken or Mint.com or any number of apps that are available in the app stores, in order for them to start to pay attention to the money that they're spending. We know that college isn't the real world yet, but it's starting to get closer to it. And if we begin the disciplines of spending time paying attention to how we're spending our money, then that'll just come more naturally when they transition to the real world. The next thing we really want our kids to learn is how to build an emergency fund. Now, this is a little different when you're in college because emergencies are not as big. You know, maybe they have a flat tire or maybe they have an issue that they have to overcome, but it's not going to be a large item, and it doesn't need to be 3-6 months worth of their expenditures. It really just needs to be something they can count on that's not a credit card. And that leads us to our last piece, which is the idea of credit cards. This is when your son or daughter is going to be exposed to 1,000 offers to set up their first credit card. And for a lot of parents, they want to say no to that. This is actually a little counterintuitive, but I want to encourage you to say yes. Let your kid get one credit card. This is such a great way for them to learn how credit works. Now, when they have a very small limit and they can use it to swipe for gas and then pay it off. If they spend the next 4 years of college paying their credit card off every month and they have 4 years of credit history that says it was paid as agreed, always on time, they're going to walk out of college with a beautiful credit score. And they will be able to do so many things with that credit score, not just borrow money. Credit scores are what people look at when they're looking at renting apartments to young families. There are so many pieces of our lives that are tied to that credit score. And so if we give our kids access to a credit card while they're young, and we can still be part of that process, and they do it right, it can set them up for great success later.